Hey guys, welcome back to See Your Dreams YouTube channel. So this is the lecture number 9 in English. So we have completed 6 topics and now we are going to start with the topic number 7, and that is your ceiling on number of audits. Now see students, what is ceiling? What is the meaning of ceiling? This is the room. Wait. This is a room, okay? This is a room. This portion. It is your rooftop, right? What is this? This is your rooftop. And when you're sitting here, then what do you say? That this is my ceiling, right? So what is this? This is the upper limit of the room beyond which the room is over. That means till here we will call it a room, and from here we will call it a roof or the terrace, right? So that means ceiling is the upper limit of anything. So what is ceiling? Ceiling is the upper limit of anything. That means beyond that particular limit, that particular thing with will end. Okay, is that clear? So when you'll read the word ceiling on number of limits, when you're reading this sentence, what should click in your mind? That beyond this limit, beyond this specific numbers, the number of audits will not be allowed or it will end. Okay, now the ceiling is on per person, per firm. We are going to study in this topic. Okay, so I just made you introduced to this topic by this diagram. Okay, so let's start with the content. It has been mentioned earlier that before appointment is given to any auditor, the company must obtain a certificate from him to the effect that the appointment, if made, will not result in an excess holding of company audit by the auditor concerned over the limit laid down in section number 141, subsection 3, clause G of the Companies Act, which prescribes that a person who is in full-time employment elsewhere, or a person or partner of a firm holding appointment as its auditor, if such person is at date of such appointment or the appointment holding appointment of more than 20 companies other than OPC, dormant, small, and private, shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company. Never say that we could not understand anything. See students, if you remember section number 141, subsection 3, then you will this section number 141 subsection 3, then please try to remember, or if you have forgot this, then please turn your pages back to the starting pages of this chapter. You will find section number 41 there. Okay, so in this subsection 3 of section number 141, what you have studied is that before appointment of the auditor, first of all, you have to obtain a certificate from the auditor that whether that particular auditor is not involved in full-time employment elsewhere. That means he is not doing any job under any company, or he is not in under employment of anything. Okay, he should not be in full-time employment under anyone. Also, you should make sure that that particular auditor is not holding the position as auditor for more than 20 companies. I also told you that from the 21st company, that particular person will become disqualified to become the auditor of that company. Why? Because there is a ceiling limit of 20 companies on that particular person. Wait, if you're not able to remember, let me just show you that what I'm trying to say. Wait, just give me a minute. I'll just show you where I'm referring to. See, in this point, what I told you, that from the 21st company, that particular person will become disqualified to become the auditor of that company. See here, for first point, I have already told you that if he is in full-time employment elsewhere, he will not be allowed to be the auditor. Also, the second point in this point is that if he is holding appointment as its auditor, that means if the auditor is the auditor of more than 20 companies, then from the 21st company he will become disqualified to become the auditor. Now what is this 20 company? This is the ceiling on the number of audits of that particular person. Also, it is mentioned here that this ceiling will not be applicable to dormant company, one person company, small company, and a private limited company whose paid up share capital is less than 100 crore, right? So these were the exclusions. So this you have already studied. To till here, what we have discussed is that you have already studied this all. Whatever we have discussed till yet, you have already studied that in section number 141, subsection 3, if a particular person is in full-time employment elsewhere, or if he is the auditor of more than 20 companies, then he will not be eligible to become the auditor. And you have to obtain a certificate that whether he is not falling in this criteria. And if he is not falling, then only you can appoint that particular person as the auditor of your company. Now in the case of a firm of auditors, so this was the case of individual auditor. So what you have studied is, what you have concluded is that an individual cannot be appointed as an auditor at the same time for more than 20 companies. And what all companies are excluded in these 20 companies? OPC, small company, private company whose paid up share capital is less than 100 crore, and your dormant company. Right. Now, what if it is a case of a firm? That means it is an audit firm, it is an audit firm, and there are multiple auditors in that particular firm. So, what will be the condition there? So, they are saying that in case of firm of auditors, it has been further provided that specified number of companies shall be construed as the number of companies specified for every partner of the firm who is not in full-time employment elsewhere. So they are saying that it has been further provided that specified number of companies shall be construed as the number of companies specified for every partner of the firm who is not in full-time employment elsewhere. That means they are saying that if it is a audit firm, it is an audit firm, then the condition of full-time employment and this 20 companies will be applicable for all the partners. That means this particular limit is not per firm, but it is per person, per individual. Okay, so this limit of 20 companies is per person, and also this condition of full-time employment is per person. That means suppose there are 10 employees, 10 partners in an audit firm, right? And one partner in that particular audit firm is involved in full-time employment elsewhere, then that particular firm will become disqualified to become the auditor of that company or of any company. Okay, so they are saying that if it is the situation, then uh, all the partners of that particular audit firm should not be involved in employment. Also, all the partners, that means individually, all the partners should not be the auditor for more than 20 companies in any company. Okay, so in the case of an audit firm having three partners, now as I've already told you that the ceiling is not per firm but it is per person. Okay, that means if there are 10 partners in an audit firm, so every partner can audit for 20 companies at a time. So what does that mean? That particular audit firm can have 200 audits. So they have also given an example that in the case of an audit firm who has three partners, the overall ceiling will be for that particular firm will be 60, because every person has the right to audit for 20 companies. Right. Now, sometimes a chartered accountant is a partner in number of auditing firms. In such a case, all the firms in which he is a partner or proprietor will be together entitled to company audits on his account, subject to the overall ceiling of a company. How they allocate the 20 companies between themselves is their affairs. They are saying that, suppose, let me give you an example to make you clear. Suppose um, there is a audit firm and there are three partners, Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C. Okay, now what happens is there are more firms. Okay, so Mr. A is partner in 19 firms, Mr. C is partner in 18 firms, and Mr. B is partner in 17 firms. Mr. A is partner in 18 firms, Mr. B in 17, and Mr. C in 16. Okay, so how many audits are left for A? So they are saying that with this firm, along with this firm if he is the partner in 16 companies more. Okay, if at the same time Mr. A is partner in this firm also, ABC Limited also, and along with ABC Limited, he is the auditor in 16 companies more. So what is the overall limit for A? It is 20. So total is 17. So that means he can audit for 3 companies more. Okay, that means he can be the auditor in 3 companies more. Right. So they are saying that it is their affair that how they are going to allocate the 20 companies, but they are just trying to say that it is not per firm, it is just per person. An individual cannot audit for more than 20 companies, but in those 20 companies, again I am repeating, OPC, small company, dormant company, and private limited company whose paid up share capital is less than 100 crore will be excluded. Right? Okay. So now to make you more clear, they have given case study so that it will be clear to you. Okay, so just do not worry if you have not understood anything. So ABC is a company where there are 3 partners, Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. Okay, and they are holding appointment in 4, 6 and 10 companies respectively. Now what we have studied is that this ceiling limit is per individual, per person and not per firm, right? So when Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C are as an auditor in 4 companies, 6 companies and 10 companies, an individual can be the auditor for 20 companies. So they are saying that they have given some questions that you have to provide the maximum number of audits remaining in name ABC and company. Now see, this is ABC and company. So 20 into 3, the ceiling limit for ABC is 60. Right, the ceiling limit for ABC is 60. Now what happens is, Mr. A is the auditor for 4 companies, Mr. B for 6 and Mr. C for 10. So that means 4 plus 6 plus 10. So that means they are auditor in other firms. They are auditor in other firms for 20 companies, right? For 20 companies, they are auditor in other firms. Now, for the balance that will be left with ABC Limited will be 60 minus 20 and this will be 40. That means the maximum limit that is available with the remaining with ABC and company is 40 because the limit of 20 is already involved in other companies. The maximum limit was 60 and they are already involved in another companies for 20 audits. So the limit that is remaining for ABC and company, why I'm referring ABC and company, because it has a total of 60, 20 into 3, right? Therefore they are left with 40 companies more. Okay, so ABC and can hold as appointment for 40 more companies. So they are saying that ABC and company, this firm can be appointed as auditor for 40 companies more. Okay, now second point they are saying provide the maximum number of audits remaining in name of individual partner Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. Now see, each partner can audit for 20 companies. Now Mr. A is already an auditor in 6 companies, so that means, in 4 companies, so that means he can audit for 60 more audits. Right, Mr. B is already involved in 6 audits, so he can do 14 more audits and Mr. C can do 10 more audits. Okay, I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Now in the third point they are saying, can ABC and company accept the appointment as an auditor in 60 private companies having paid up share capital of less than 100 crores, 2 small companies and 1 dormant company. Now they are saying that can ABC accept the appointment as an auditor in 60 private companies. Now in the first point you have learned that there are 40 companies, 40 more audits that can be done by ABC and company. But they are saying that can he be the auditor in 60 private companies whose paid up share capital is less than 100 crore, 2 small companies and 1 dormant company. Now just look at these points and try to remember that are these companies included in the limit of 20 companies? No. So yes, ABC can be auditor in all the 60 private companies and 2 small companies also and 1 dormant company also. Okay. Now they are saying in fourth point, would your answer be different if out of those 60 private companies, 45 companies are having paid up share capital of 110 crores each? Yes, our answer will become different as uh, that ABC and company cannot become the auditor for more than 60 companies, right? And if you are excluding the 20 companies, then only 40 audits can be done. So they are saying that ABC can accept only 15 private companies more, because out of these 60 companies, 45 companies are there whose paid up share capital is greater than 100 crores. It is 110 crores. So that is why ABC can be auditor in 15 such companies, 15 private more companies, and otherwise he can accept only remaining 40 more audits, because ABC partners are already involved in 20 audits. They have already mentioned now this 4 plus 6 plus 10, they are already involved in other audits, so that is why the remaining limit is only 40. So that is why they cannot be the auditor. But if this was not the situation, if all the auditors had the full limit of 20 companies with them, then this ABC would have accepted all the 60 audits, right? But because there were only 40 audits left, so that is why they can appoint only 15 more such audits, because out of these 60 companies, only 15 companies are there whose paid up share capital is less than 100 crores, right? Okay, now let us just read the following points and then your topic will be over. In exercise of the powers conferred by Clause 2 of Part 2 of Section Schedule to the Chartered Accountants Act 1949, the Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India hereby specifies that a member of the institute in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he holds at any time appointment of more than specified number of audit assignments under Section 224. So they are saying that if you try to break the rules, if you try to exceed the limit of audits, then you will be liable under Section 224. Okay. It may be noted that in case of a firm of chartered accountants in practice, the specified number of audit assignments shall be construed as the number of audit assignments for every partner of the firm. Again, they are repeating the same thing, per person and per partner thing. Okay, per firm thing. It may also be noted that where any partner of the firm of chartered accountant is also a partner of any firm or firms of chartered accountants in practice, the number of audit assignments which may be taken for all the firms together in relation to such partners shall not exceed the specified number of audit assignments in the aggregate. Again, they are saying the same thing, they are repeating the same point again and again in different ways, that this limit will be per individual, and this is up to that individual that to which company he or she is representing. Okay, that means Mr. A can represent the same company for 20 times also. He can represent the that means by representation I mean that if it is an audit firm and he's the partner there, then that audit firm on behalf of A can become the auditor for 20 companies also, for 16 companies also. So this is up to the partner that how you are allocating. Okay, fine. So it is further provided that where any partner or firm of chartered accountants in practice accept one or more audit assignment in his individual capacity or in the name of its proprietary firm, the total number of such assignments which may be accepted by all firms in relation to such chartered accountant and by him shall not exceed the number of audit assignments in the aggregate. Like I already told you that it should not exceed like suppose we have already studied 20 into 3 equals 60. Like suppose there were three partners and um, three partners in an audit firm, so that means the total ceiling limit with the firm is 60, so it should not exceed this. Okay, so they are saying this only. Now in computing the specified number of audit assignments, the number of such assignments which he or any partner of his firm has accepted, whether singly or in combination with other chartered accountants in practice of firm, shall be taken into account. So again they are saying the same thing, that individually and in relation to the firm. That means Mr. A as the auditor plus Mr. A as the partner in ABC. Okay, all this will count to 20 only. Okay. Now the number of partners of a firm on date of acceptance of audit assignment shall be taken into account. You should take into account the number of partners to calculate the ceiling limit of that particular firm. Okay, so what is to be taken into account? Number of such assignments per person, number of partners in a firm, and a chartered accountant in full-time employment elsewhere shall not be taken into account. Okay, so these three things you have to keep in mind. Now, a chartered accountant in practice as well as firm of chartered accountants in practice shall maintain a record of audit assignment accepted by him or by any other partner, and they should maintain a record in the best possible manner, in the prescribed manner. So this was the ceiling limit for your company audits. This 20 was the ceiling limit for company audits. What is the ceiling limit for tax audits? So the ceiling limit for tax audits is 60. That means an individual can do the tax audit of 60 companies. Okay. Sorry, not companies. He can do 60 tax audits. So the specified number of tax audit assignments that an auditor as an individual or partner can do is 60. IC has notified that a chartered accountant in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he accepts in financial year more than a specified number of tax audits under section 44 AB. They are saying that if he exceeds the limit of tax audits also, then he will be deemed to be guilty, okay, of misconduct. So this was all your topic, ceiling on number of audits. So I hope that you have now understood that the ceiling is per person and not per firm. Okay, so this is how you are going to do ceiling, and now we have to start with powers and duties, and after that we will start with Karo and the other remaining essays or topics. Okay, so I'm ending this video here, and please do share my videos if you are really getting benefited out of it. For any doubts, feel free to comment down. So thank you guys. Stay blessed.